Hello, everybody, welcome. It was a psychic investigator. Hello, everybody, welcome. Rose is psychic investigator. So, guys, this story. I was gonna go home, but I saw this and I have to talk about it because it's it's something that if somebody had told me this, I wouldn't believe it, but it's true, and it's about Epstein. I can say this, I can't believe it. So Epstein wanted to infiltrate the Vatican. And so he plotted with Bannon to take down Pope Francis. I mean, these are like legit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I have a rosary with me in my bag. Do I have it here in this pack? I think I did put it here because I went somewhere today that I was really nervous about. So I put it here. So what I put it here? Or maybe I changed to a different bag. But the point is, it's a time to pray because the people are dark, very dark. And Bannon, Bannon, we haven't even, have I made a video about him and Epstein? Because they're very, very close. And they were plotting to take down Pope Francis. I don't know how that, and it's like the biblical situation keeps happening. It's just like, the Bible is very realistic when you think about it. It's realistic because the level of evil we don't understand. We don't have an idea of what it's like. And the fact that can you imagine that man wanting to infiltrate the Vatican? Like, what kind of evil is that? Like, what? This is a protection. I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle, I step into it. I feel protected, I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and not the good, and so it is. So here is the information. All right, so nothing to see here, huh? Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein wanted to infiltrate the Vatican. To do this, he began funding Catholic charities through his foundation, sent his men to Vatican events, and plotted with Bannon to take down Francis and quote unquote purify the church. He was also very interested in Vatican foreign policy. So, guys, it's like you can't make that up. You just cannot make that up. Okay. And I don't know. I just like I don't really need to know the details, but I just wanted, like, this is almost like I said, they really are, they went for it. I'm not saying the Catholic Church obviously is not perfect, but Pope Francis was very kind. And we talked about the whole like Opus Dei thing, the right wing cults that the current Pope wants to basically eliminate. Because guys, I've read one time, or did I send a link, or I recall reading this for you, the story of how Opus Dei was essentially trafficking women in Argentina. Like it was trafficking, not, it didn't have sexual examples, but it was like they basically enslaved these girls and treated them like domestic slaves. Domestic meaning like they would recruit these women from poor neighborhoods, promise them some sort of like educational opportunity, but it wasn't true. It was just to make them these like maids that were treated horribly and not paid. So that's Opus Dei, and that's the right wing. Like that's what Barr and the people, can you imagine? Like that's the people that Barr likes. Okay, and Kavanaugh. These are the ones. It's like it's all about like harming women, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day. So of course they hate Francis, the Jesuits, and all that. So that's the story. And that's the protection. I already did because I'm like so much. We did a lot of protection. So okay, so let's see. I don't know what. So what's up with that? Show me. Wow, guys. God, please. I don't need to know that it's too dark. Don't show me. So wow, guys. I'm sorry. Like this is really dark because okay. I have just to tell you that's my rule here. I have to remember. So I see that him and Bannon were like, wow, the Catholic Church, man, if you can manipulate people like that, then you can get everything. And they think of the Catholic Church as the core place, like the core abuse, like seed place or something. Like they think that, wow, if we have power, take over that, then we'll get everything. Because, oh, the money, that's right. Oh my God. You know what? So you guys do know that the Vatican is sort of like a country unto itself. And they have this very opaque financial system. And it's saying that they want to take control, they wanted to take control over the financial system of the Vatican. So they could, it's like they'll say they'll be the perfect money laundering place, something like that. But in addition to that, they wanted to make, wow, it's so, guys, please God protect all of the victims, protect me too. Because what I see is so dark. But I have to tell you, I'm not, their plan was to like make this, like, it's like, wow, just make this abuse. Yeah, I'm gonna make abuse just everywhere, every church, just recruit, we'll grab some people, it's like, wow, and make it all everywhere you go. It's like true evil. They are so, and I see, honestly, guys, this is, I'm telling you, this is the work of the devil. It's the demonic energy. I swear they're like, because wow, what I see here that they're very interested in is this idea that they want to become like God. Like all those like tech bros, they're obsessed about the idea of being like religious leaders or whatever. But it's like because they want to take over. Their fantasy is to be God, right? Is to have power over people, to power over everything. And that's why they also love the church, because they can control people that way and they can claim powers and they can launder money. So that would have been perfect. So, okay. So tell me about the plan to take over, to remove Francis and all that. Okay, I'm gonna ask this question almost as a joke, really, but about so J.D. Vance visited him, Pope Francis, and Pope Francis passed. Did he contribute something? No, it's saying that he was already kind of crossing over and he hated him anyway. So, no. But you know what? I see that Pope Francis cursed him on his deathbed, cursed the J.D. Vance. Wow. And I think he may have heard it. Curse meaning like put a hex on him. Damn. Oh, yeah. He put a hex on him. He was like, kind of like, I know I pray for that, like protect whoever is sent, it's essentially a return to center type of thing. That any and all energy that you're putting out in the world. But I see that the Pope truly had powers, healing powers and such. And also, I see that the evil that stays contained in himself and the like ends up taking him down. So I think he had prayed for that one. And essentially saying, in essence, Pope Francis hexed J.D. Vance. Wow, because he knew, and I think he had been told all this, all these intrigues by the right-wing popes, and how they were all, it's saying that the popes, it's saying, Rosie, you think it's bad when you look at all these dark things, but imagine for somebody who's a legit religious figure, not a charlatan, but those people like people like Pope Francis looked at those right-wing bishops or whatever and the cardinals, they were like, they saw them as fake because they were using, all they wanted was power, and they were using religion to obtain power. And again, to become kind of like a lot of people now, it's very common nowadays, right, to have these spokesperson for the billionaires. That's how they saw themselves, because they aligned with the interests of the very powerful, as opposed to the Jesuits and other Dominican friars and others, right? So it's really like, it's crazy, right? So very interesting here. Wow, wow. Okay, so tell me more. So I see, honestly, is that they are evil and they want to have it. So they're both demonic creatures, Epstein and Bannon. And they wanted to essentially seem to live out all the possibilities in the world, all the evil, all the things that you can't do, we're going to do it. we're going to create harm. We're going to be, and I think they were just thinking of themselves as just like being like the age man in Germany, even though Epstein technically is Jewish, right? Like, I think they wanted to create harm, chaos, and all that. Is seeing everything for them, especially Epstein, right? Especially Epstein, though. I think both, oh my, hello. Oh, it's gonna stay like this, yeah. Oh, hi. Mhm. Oh, doesn't go down. Yeah, I do put this weird cream on, and that's why I think it has a body. No, it's for his has a body, I guess, but it's does not go down. Oh, hi. Hmm. Okay. Anyway, go back here to the demons that I was discussing before I talk about hair. How are you today? Huh? Wow, no, guys, seriously, it's like those men. They were, I want to have a question. So we're talking about, and I see, wow, I feel like Pope Francis. I feel his light, and it's interesting. I said this before. When people are on a very high level, on the other side, they lose form. They just become light, and that's what I see. Pope Francis, and he knew that he had to fight high demons when he came to this life. He's like, we're gonna fight. You're gonna come in contact with the most demonic creatures, and you're gonna win over them. And it's gonna be a transition to a new era. So, so yeah, so wow. Okay, let's go back here. So I have a question about now Bannon and Epstein. That did they make a deal with it? Like I'm actually, did they evoke? Did they have like demonic like ceremonies or something? Because it's like their hatred and their like against women and their actions are so deliberate that like it's almost like I could see them having had some sort of ceremony, ritual, or something where they said, we're gonna work for the Antichrist for legit. And I see them, Peter, too. Like, honestly, these people are the most evil people in the world. And yeah, so, and I see, yes, Peter Thiel, yes. And they looked at Peter Thiel. Oh my God. God, no, 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 I don't want to see it. Protect the victim. Wow, guys, I'm telling you, I'm seeing your ceremony. By the way, reminds me, do you guys know that the Nazis, that the Nazis, they were atheists. They were what is it, pagan, I guess. And they wanted to, they have this like, I think they had some of the higher level NAZIs had this, like, there was books about it. They were quote unquote mystics, were interested in the not paranormal, what you call it, whatever, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, and they believed in all these, in magic and all the dark magic and all that. So I see that Peter Thiel, of course, he's German, right? And he speaks German, so he was interested in this. And I see that he brought, I think that I saw there's some kind of ritual with them, with Peter Thiel and some other people close to Peter Thiel and Epstein and Bannon. And I see there's blood. There's blood, and it comes from a young person. I'm telling you. And I think it's like, yeah, they have, wow. And I see that even Bannon and like, and what's his name? Epstein, like, whoa, oh, they're weirded out by him, by Peter Thiel. And guys, I'm telling you what I see here also. Saying, Rosie, don't worry, we're using you as a channel. It's okay, it's safe. You have to speak of these things. Now is the time to speak of these things, and you'll be okay. You'll be light once you speak of it. You can share it. So I see that, you know how Peter Thiel has a whole lecture like, oh, the Antichrist is around. Guess who he is? He knows he feels that he himself is the Antichrist. That he's just making lectures because he's essentially talking about himself. He knows that he's done the most evil things and sick things, and they have to brag. It seems part of the evil has to do with committing crimes and like pretending like they didn't, which is what happens to a lot of abuse, right? A lot of abusers, like most abusers, when you read about them, they're not the people that look evil on the street. It's the person who has like, who's a great member of the community, who's a kind person, who it's always the ones you least expect. So similarly here, I mean, in him you kind of expect, this is kind of shady and slimy. Looks like a reptilian, right? But like, wow, yeah. So I have a question here. The start, it's going a weird direction. So, Spirit, tell me, is there power to their demonic rituals? Like in the sense of like, can the light break through them? What can we do about it? Saying there's a lot of power in incantation. They're using the word incantation. When they sing these spells loudly, they gather this like force. Yes, people that do this, they can have a force, but it shows me that it's a force very strong, but it can stab them too. You know how it's saying that you can use that to create harm to others, but you never know. It shows me like a snake. Like you could get a snake and try tell the snake to go bite somebody, but the snake can turn around and get you. So it's saying somewhat almost like making a bomb. It could explode in your hand. And it will. And 99% of the times it does. The people that feel like they want this power, it's because they want to create negative, horrible things. But it harms them too. So that's what's happening to him. Wow. And you know what's showing me? It's so creepy that Peter Thiel you either already has or is going to develop a form of aggressive blood cancer, which may be related to all the blood that he has injected himself with from young people. Seriously. And like, whoa, whoa. Oh my God, no. I just saw something that I just, again, I have to say for entertainment purposes only because so that I feel like there's a distance, but I'm seeing him. My God, should I say it? Like, I can't, I just, but it's showing me. So I have to, so, you know, do the cross or whatever you were going to protect yourself from. But I see this image of him eating some sort of organ, eating. And I think is it cannibalism when you eat like human flesh or something? He's like, oh, eating it. I'm not kidding. So it's saying, no, he's a really sick person. He's a real sick, he's a sicko for reals. Wow, wow. So that's it, human sacrifice. Wow. Guys, I can't believe, take it with a grain of salt. And it's saying, I'm protected, don't worry, it's okay. But it's the time when people need to know these things. Wow. So, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, very dark stuff. So, but it's saying, as it's spoken, it's also the power of the secret is released. So Pope Francis, can you tell us? Can you? No, I see that he doesn't know. He's just like he doesn't speak, but he has this incredible light. So what about? It's like he's giving us all. It's like you can claim just that the evil. He's not saying this, but I'm getting this. The light is very, very, very powerful, and just as the evil is around the darkness, does it make sense? Like you can ask, just as those people ask for the darkness, you can ask for the light. And the light is very, 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 very powerful. You have to have faith because it will remove things. It has an incredible amount of power. So, and that's what he wants us to focus on now. It's to bring the light when you look at the ice, awful situations, the things that this administration is planning, just ask for the light and send the light there because it will dissolve the evil. It's like if we all collectively stop, people still come to the channel like, Rosie, Trump said this and that. Never ever repeat what he's saying because there's power in it, right? Just saying when you see something that is very upsetting, just project the light and it will start dissolving. He's saying people are starting to see that we're starting to get into the world where light is overtaking darkness finally. So we can create so many more amazing things rather than this destructive evil. But he's saying the evil has to be revealed in order to be released. So yeah, this is the battle of the good and evil, yes. But it's interesting, the light of Pope Francis is sort of showing that we have crossed into this, it's like a gate that has opened. Okay. So very nice. Thank you. So this is very interesting. I wasn't expecting it. Very dark and interesting, but also very hopeful. So, okay. And wow, he's showing me like, because I was sort of like asking about trash. He like shows me when he goes, he just takes out, he is himself trash, but he takes out a lot of the trash as well. because they vibrate in a similar, like there are people that have the similar vibration. So very interesting. Okay. So wow, a lot of food for thought. Okay, so I'm gonna go and I wish you a good night. Bye.